Just down here at our parts guy's place, picking up a self-propel snapper here and another just a push Craftsman. But I wanted to show you guys all the stuff he's got here. As you guys can see, he's got an unbelievable amount of push lawnmowers, self-propelled mowers. I mean, it just goes on and on. He's got a massive lot with all kinds of different stuff. He's got multiple different lots, so some lots are just lawnmower related, other ones are snowblower related. He collects just about everything, and for somebody like us who, you know, you don't want to go and buy a part brand new from the store, and we've been dealing with our parts guy here for many years. We always go down to him whenever we need something that either we can't find, because you guys got to remember, sometimes parts are discontinued. For older machines, the manufacturers don't produce the replacement parts anymore, and we're left without the option to get a new part. So a lot of times we go down to him, we walk through his yard for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, we find what we need, and we get it for about half the cost of what we'd pay at the local parts store. You guys can see here too, he's got all kinds of mower decks, 42-inch, 46-inch, all different size decks. If we bought a machine that didn't have a deck, chances are our buddy Joe's got one. Our parts guy's got snow blowers, riding lawnmowers, you name it. He's got basically everything that somebody like us would need to refurbish and you know, buy and sell mowers. We need small little parts here and there. He's got them. He's got, like I said, self-propel lawnmowers. He's got junk lawnmowers. You know, if you needed a tire or a couple tires off of a machine, he's got it. And I mean, here's another shot. The lawnmowers just go on forever. He's got well over 200-300 machines on this lot, and it just keeps going, guys. Our parts guy, he's got everything you need. So if you needed like a, you know, a gas cap for a, what's that, a HR 214, he's got it. If you needed a, you know, like a choke cable or a speed control, these things, they're $90 if you had to buy that from the store. So it's unbelievable, guys. He's got everything we need. We always come to him for parts. Always come to him for parts, guys. He's got just about everything you need, and you can see just the sheer amount of inventory he's got. Well, boys, get ready. There we go. So we picked up, I think there's two self-propels. No, that's a self-propel here. This is just a push mower here. It's a Brute 158cc on that one, and then Craftsman 5.5 horse, and then we got, oh, that one is a self-propel, I believe, and then we got another Craftsman up here. That one's just a push. It runs, but it runs rough, so we'll have to do carb clean, but we'll probably end up doing a carb clean on all of these. But yeah, so we got this one and that one from our parts guy there. Picked up that one in St. Catharines just down the road, and then right after that we went and got this one, and the guy had to leave, so we ended up putting $30 in his mailbox, and you know, he texted me saying that he had to leave unexpectedly. He says the machine's out on the front driveway, and he says if you want it, leave 30 in the mailbox, and that's exactly what we did. So yeah, we got a few machines here, so this will keep us busy, and you know, if we got any customers that are interested, which we do, now we got machines that we can sell them. And then we're lining up a guy for tomorrow to pick up 3 riding lawnmowers that don't run. But anyways, this guy's got like 3 riding lawnmowers, and none of them run, so we're gonna pick that up probably within the next week. He had one that he was selling for $475. It was a really nice machine, but unfortunately that's a little bit too expensive for our taste. We can't really flip that to make money. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go down there and check out what he's got and see, you know, if he's got 3 riding mowers that don't run and the price is right. We'll pick them up and get them going. Apart from that, we're also going to be going and picking up a weed eater lawnmower, and that one has a bad deck but a good engine, which we'll end up putting on this here, which this is a weed eater lawnmower. So now we'll have a weed eater engine on a weed eater deck, and we'll be able to sell that thing for some good money and make a nice little bit of profit off of that. Well guys, busy day here at Eliminator Performance. We got the weed eater engine off of this deck here. We stripped that so you guys can see there's been some repairs. Looks like they tried to use some Bondo. Not a good idea, guys. If you hit a stone, it would go right through that. But here's that weed eater that I was talking about, how we'd take that engine and put it onto the deck. So now we got a weed eater engine onto a weed eater deck. It looks pretty good. Got some, hit it with some black paint, and the old man painted this one up. Did a really good job on it. It looks awesome. The oil's been changed. Got a brand new spark plug, air filter. This thing's ready to go, and it looks really nice, runs really good. So for this one right here, the green one, we ended up getting that deck for 20 bucks, and we ended up getting the engine and another deck for 20 bucks. We took that engine, put it onto this deck, and like I said, guys, we just hit it with a little bit of black spray paint. Got it looking real nice. The green and the black really pops. So that thing's, and it starts first pull too. All of these machines start first pull, so we clean carbs on all of them, and they're fully tuned up. Then we got the snapper here. This thing turned out really good. We did a oil change, blade sharpen, made sure the belt was good, adjusted the tension, and everything's good on this one. We got a guy that's interested. He was looking for a self-propel. He doesn't want to walk behind and push, so I called him, and hopefully he'll come down and take a look at this thing in a couple nights, and hopefully that'll be gone. We're going to be putting this on Kijiji, try and get 200 out of it. If not, we're going to sell it to our buddy there for 185. But right now, I'm just going to start picking up the yard a little bit, because you guys can see it's starting to get a little bit messy. And you guys remember how I was saying that this little piece here is like 90 bucks? Well, we ended up getting one off of that scrap lawnmower right there. So that's good if we ever need one of these. So this is the lever where you can push it forward, engage your blade, and then it locks the speed in. So that thing, expensive. Now we got one for spare. What's going on, guys? So we're out here in the shop working on another lawnmower. So I wanted to do a video about how to make money fixing up lawnmowers, you know, buying and selling. And yeah, it's pretty easy, you know, once you get the hang of working on stuff. Yeah, so we're just getting the carb off of this one. Doesn't run, but the deck's in excellent shape. And you know, it's got the plastic top. I like these ones with the plastic top, because you could take the wipe new to it and shine it up, make it look a little newer. It's in fairly good condition. The tires got a little bit of yellow and green, you know, just nasty color to them, discoloration, but that's to be expected. But yeah, we got this thing for real cheap. I think we paid 20 or 30 bucks for this one. But it had compression when I pulled the cable. That's always the important thing that you want to check, guys. When you go, just give it a pull. As long as it's got compression, it should run. Another thing you can do is bring a can of carb cleaner with you, pull off the air filter, spray it in there, and then give your machine a pull. And if it fires up and then it dies, then you know you got spark. So as long as you got spark, that's a coil in there that could be 50 or you know, 65 bucks. So if you got spark, that's money that you don't have to spend. But anyways, you guys are going to want to know, how do you make money selling lawnmowers? Well, we probably make more money buying and selling stuff than we do doing just repairs. So the repairs keep you busy, and the buying and selling keeps you busy when you don't have any repairs. So you know, if you get a little slow and there's nothing to fix, nobody's bringing you anything, then you can pull out a $20 lawnmower that you bought that didn't run, and you can clean the carb on it, change the oil. You know, you can create work for yourself, and by doing that, you always have something to do. So let me just take you around this, and I'll point out some of the stuff that I like to look for. So first things first, this deck has a little bit of rust. Not much, it's just a little bit of surface rust, but it's starting to go through. So if this would have been left like that, that would have rotted right through. So if you're going to buy something, guys, you want to make sure that it's a solid deck. Or if it has a really bad deck, let's say there was a hole that was completely blown out in the back of this, well, then I'd want it to have a really good engine, because then you can pull the engine and put it onto another deck. Always make sure that your deck is solid, and if it's not solid, make sure it's got a good engine. Maybe something with like this with plastic on the top of it, something that you can make to look nice. That's one of the biggest things that I like, is when a lawnmower looks nice, because if it looks nice, you know, all of them run good, whether it's old. I showed you guys that that old one that we did. That one's from the 60s. And that thing starts first pull and it runs awesome. So as long as you know what you're doing with, you know, as far as carburetors go and how to tune them and clean them, you can get them to run good no matter how old they are. But as far as making them look good, you'll never make a lawnmower that's been painted with 2 or 3 layers of spray paint. You'll never make that look good unless, you know, you sandblast or something like that, and then you're just getting into all sorts of work. So something like this, guys, you know, we can shine this paint up, we can buff that paint up, and on the back there we can take like a wire wheel to that and chip away some of the rust, and then we can hit that with some black Tremclad Rust-Oleum paint, whatever it may be, and fix that up. Plastics are another thing. Some people don't like these machines with the side discharge, right? Because you're kicking grass out of the side. So a lot of times people like the ones with the mulch plug, right? The cover, so that the grass just stays up inside of there. Key thing though, if you have that mulch plug, you need a mulching blade. A mulching blade has the little angles on it so that it creates an updraft, so that once you cut the grass, then what happens is it brings that cut piece of grass that might be about this long, it brings that back up into the machine so that it recuts it again. And that's what a mulching lawnmower does. So you want to be aware that, you know, if you got a mulching plug lying around, you want to make sure that it's got a mulching blade on it as well. So just coming outside, you can see this this deck that we had here. Somebody tried to repair that with Bondo. Anyways, here's our plug right there, guys. So this thing, it pops up. It's got a torsion spring right there. That's like, I think $3 or $4. So we always save those, and the rod as well. We got tons of those, but we always miss the torsion spring. Sometimes they break, and people leave the rod in this thing, but then it just flaps around, but they never replace the actual spring. And you can see there, it just clips inside of there like that. But anyways, what I was getting to was the fact that this deck is garbage, but this mulching plug, that rod and that torsion spring are good. Just like I showed you the lever, we keep that as well. So now, if we ever get one of these decks, we can throw this mulching plug onto it, and you know, we keep all kinds of different blades. And if we ever need like an adjuster, like this guy right here, which we do on our other lawnmower, then we'll have something like that. So what I like to do is basically have 3 different tiers of lawnmowers that we sell. So we have kind of like the junkers that we don't really offer a guarantee on it. It's old. We say it's old. We say there could possibly be a problem with it. However, for the price that our customers are paying for it, which might be like 50, 55 bucks, they don't really care. It's people that are just looking for a quick lawnmower that they can score for, like I said, 50 or 55 bucks, that they can cut grass for maybe a season or 2, and then, you know, take it and throw it in the dump, or you know, put it on Kijiji and say free, and somebody will come pick it up. So then on top of that, there's the second tier, which I would say would be like your $75 to $100 machines. Those ones would be something like that silver one back there. You know, something like that. It doesn't look really good, but it has an engine that you'll start first pull, and we do give a guarantee on our work for the engines, and say that, you know, if you have any problems with carburetors, bring them back, and we'll take care of customers for a $75 to $100 machine. Then on top of that, you would have your third tier, which would be like your $100 to $200 machine. Those are normally self-propelled, so we'd like to have a self-propelled mower that we know starts first pull, and those we offer a full guarantee. For those, because it's a higher price, not only does it have to look good, it has to run good, and it has to drive good without any problems. That's why you're paying more for a machine, because now you don't have to push it, it's self-propelled. But with the self-propelled mower comes self-propelled mower problems, which can be burnt out belts and you know, slipping gearboxes, stuff of that nature. So when you're first buying a machine, you got to make sure that you understand the dollar amount that's not only going into it when you first purchase it, but the parts you're going to have to put into it. If it doesn't run, but you know it starts off a carb cleaner, chances are you're going to need a carb kit or the time to put into it to clean the carb yourself. Then you're going to need to change the oil. So you're adding in now the cost of oil and again your time to change the oil. If it needs a blade, you should always flip it up and check to make sure it's got the blade on it. If it doesn't have a blade, blades can go anywhere from, I guess, maybe $8 to anywhere to $24 on some of the Toro lawnmowers that I've seen. On top of that, now you're looking into blade adapters. So if it doesn't have the blade on it when you buy it, does it have the adapter for the blade? Because those are even more expensive than just buying a blade. Now you guys have seen me clean spark plugs on the wire wheel. We have a brass wire wheel on the left side of our bench grinder right there. 9 times out of 10, you can just clean a spark plug and get it going. However, on a lot of 2-strokes, I can see that sometimes if you have a weed eater or a chainsaw that won't run, changing the spark plug is definitely beneficial. You also want to look at your air filters. You can see, guys, that we got a little bit of oil leaking out of our air filter here. Now, I did wash this with the hose before I started working on it, so that could be like watery oil, but yeah, guys, you can see just how much nasty stuff gets on these air filters. So the big thing is you can wash these if they're foam air filters. If they're paper air filters, you can't wash those. So if it's a paper air filter just like this, guys, you can blow these out with a compressor. However, you always want to make sure that you blow these from the inside out. Now, for the most part, you guys have seen in my older videos, all the unboxings and stuff, we do get a lot of our air filters from Amazon. So here's some Craftsman riding lawnmower ones. They got this, this rubber loop at the top. And these are like $19 at our local parts store, and online I got these for I think about $6.59 a piece, so I ordered 4 or 5 of those. So this one here, guys, came off of the engine that we pulled off of that weed eater deck, that green deck that I showed you earlier on in the video. And the engine on that one, the lady had hit a piece of metal and just completely wrecked the crankshaft. But stuff like this, guys, the plastics on top and especially the recoil, that's still good and it still works perfectly fine. So we'll keep this, and if we ever get an engine like that again that's you know, not as good looking, we can throw this on, hit it with a little bit of wipe new, and this thing will look brand new. And I just wanted to show you, here's the blade off of that that weed eater with the bad engine. So she definitely hit something, and that's it, guys. She hit something, and this thing, you know, they're not, these are direct drive, so this blade is bolted directly to your engine's crankshaft. Unlike a riding lawnmower where you have your deck spinning, your blade spinning on your mower deck, and then you have a belt that goes to the front where if you hit something and the blade stops and your engine's still turning, you're just going to smoke a belt. But when you have these push lawnmowers, if you hit something, that's it. It sends that shock wave, that instant stopping power back into the crankshaft while the engine's still trying to rotate and produce power, and you can severely damage an engine. So you have to take stuff like that into consideration, guys. Has it been hit? Has the customer you know, abused it? Is there oil in it? That's a big thing. See, if you go to get a push lawnmower, and the first thing I always do before starting it, anything, is check the oil and see if the engine's hot. And you might say, well, what does a hot engine have to do with you know, buying and making money off of something? Well, that's an old trick in the art of selling something that doesn't necessarily start on the first pull. You see, if you get an engine that is hard to start when it's cold, but once you warm it up, it starts first pull every time, well, you never know that the guy could be running a lawnmower or a dirt bike or a motorcycle before you get there, and you know, shutting it off, and then as soon as you get there says, oh, you want to start it up? Go ahead. And you go to pull it and it starts first pull just like it's advertised, and then you give them the money and you get it home, and next thing you know, you go to start it and it won't start. So you got to put carb cleaner in it. Then once it fires up and once it's warm, it fires up every time. So just a couple tips and tricks. If you are buying an engine that you know is running, or at least it's advertised to run, when you show up there, put your hand over the engine just like this. Feel if it's hot, you know, feel if it's warm, and if it is, then just walk around, ask some questions about it. Say, how often do you change your oil? You know, if the customer says, well, I don't know, or you know, I got it off of somebody else, you might have some risks involved there. And if you're buying a machine like something like this that doesn't run, then you are going to take a risk. You're always taking a chance that there could be some internal problem in the engine. But again, there's a few ways to go about that. Pull your pull start, and if you feel the rotation of the engine and you feel that compression inside of the cylinder and there is resistance when you pull it, that's normally a good sign. Again, I said you could take some carb cleaner, spray it into the carburetor, and when you pull it, if it fires right up and then it dies, chances are that it just needs a carb clean. But again, that lets you know that there's sparks, so now you don't have to worry about getting a $65 coil or a spark plug cap or a spark plug. And again, you want to remove your dipstick and always check to make sure there's oil in it, guys. That's the number one priority when especially for me anyways, when I buy engines. If there's no oil in it, I walk away. I don't even buy it, because chances are if the customer doesn't know when they put oil in it last, or if they say it's been serviced every year but there's no oil, you don't know how many times it's been run without the oil, and that's never a good thing, guys. So you guys can see it's only supposed to go to these lines right there, those two lines, and you guys can see there's more oil than should be on this one, but at least there's oil in it. That's the main thing. There could be too much, there could be not enough, but at least there is some form of lubrication inside of this engine for the rotating parts that are moving around inside of there. Well, that's it for part one, guys. Once part two is uploaded, you can click here to check that out, and click over here to subscribe to the channel. If you enjoyed the video, think about leaving me a thumbs up, and as always, guys, thanks for watching.